I got another callback with John Chu, and that was like a callback at Warner Brothers, and like everybody was in the waiting room. Like I saw Justina Machado there, I saw like Cami Mendez there, like everybody that's Latinos that I like know and recognize from TV was there, and I was mortified because I was like, oh my God, these are all like famous people, and I'm like, no one, like, what am I doing here? You know, imposter syndrome, and you're all waiting in this room together, and like,
but
you
they
know
were probably having the same feelings that you are, because I think we all,
or you know, like everyone being like, damn, like there's so many talented people here, and there's one role that I fit in for. You know, like it's the thing about being Latino in this industry.
I miss those days, but I also, they're terrifying in the waiting room. Before like a network test.
It's terrifying. It's exciting, but it's also
look at
like,
you. Look what you've done.
It was crazy.
How
That's
did you feel before, or when you finally learned that you booked that role, and then after you saw the finished product? Like, were you just on a complete high?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when I booked the role, I felt like I could die happy now. You know, like that was a feeling. I was like, okay, I could die. And like, I'm happy. Like, this is what I've always wanted. Literally. One of my biggest dreams just came true. And I'm like, I'm good. That was my feeling. Then I went through, the 5 months of the movie, and it was an amazing, incredible experience. Very stressful, but also like incredible and unforgettable. Like every single day on set was just so fun. It was a party. Everyone was great. We all got along. We all felt so fortunate and lucky to be there. So we were all like, in it every day. And then when I saw the movie for the first time, I was just weeping. I couldn't believe it. I just thought it was so good. The first time I saw the movie, I saw it with Noah, who played Graffiti Pete, and Greg. And the three of us were just like mar de lágrimas, just crying. And then I saw it the next day again with Anthony, because I was like, I need to see it again. And he hadn't seen it, and we saw it. And I remember afterwards, we were like floating down the elevator. And when we looked at each other, and we were like, it's good, right? Like, it's actually really good. Because you don't never know. You never know. When you're shooting something, you always, no one ever makes anything to be bad. No one ever wants anything that they do to be bad. Everyone always wants whatever they're doing to be good, to be the best that it can be. But that doesn't always happen, because there's like a million things that, that happen in the edit, in the rhythm, in the story, with the notes of the studio, of the, there's so many like cooks in the kitchen sometimes, and it ends up being not what you as an actor, at least me, always have like a vision of what I think it's gonna be like. And it's always nice to be surprised, but it's nice to be pleasantly surprised. But that, it's weird. It like knocks you off balance a little bit. So when something is good,
you're like,
it's so nice. It feels so good, the hard work, and like knowing that it's actually something that you can be very proud of, and that that a lot of people it's gonna mean a lot to a lot of people.
Well, I was bawling on the theater. We went to see it together, my husband and I, and every time the Puerto Rican flag was showing, I was just like, I would hold his hand and be like, and he would feel the tears.
Well, that's how I felt when I saw it on Broadway, and I saw the Mexican flag on the stage, and I was like, literally, I get full body goosebumps just remembering it, because it means so much to see that there's a place for you, So
you had never done the play, the musical?
No, I never did the musical. I tried.
Yeah.
I auditioned for it every time that I could. But never even got a call back for it.
I read that you snuck out from your hotel when you visited. You were on a trip to New York, and you snuck out to go see the play.
Yeah, I was in like a MUN trip with my school, like a United Nations simulation kind of thing. And I had some friends that were also like theater nerds like me, and we would just sneak out and go and get like student tickets or lottery tickets and go and see shows. And In the Heights I think it was the first time that I saw In the Heights on that trip. And that was, I was in 11th grade. And then when I moved to New York, I must have seen In the Heights like 15 to 20 times.
Wow.
Like I would take everyone to see it.
Wow.
I was like, this is my show. And actually I have a friend, the friend that I saw it with on my trip, she's a year older than me. And she is married with children now, but she's always like sending her messages of support for my career. She watches everything that I do. And she sent me this Facebook little thread that we had. And she asked me, have you gone to see In the Heights? And I said like, yeah, only like 5 times or something like that. I have a feeling this is my show, literally. And she sent me like a screen grab of that when the movie came out.
Oh, you're going to make me cry, girl. That's so...
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. Meant to, I mean, yeah. When all the stars align.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy how that happens, right? I mean, I do think that the stars align for us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like we sometimes get a little antsy and we get impatient and we think that it has to be in our timeline, but like it's not. It's kind of like life or the universe being like, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it to you when you're ready.
Yes. Yes. So true. We were just talking about that. We're like, everyone has their moment, their journey, you know, they're supposed to be exactly where they are.
Yeah.
It goes for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I love that.
I'm like you. I'm like processing
Yeah.
all of the beautiful emotions just listening to your story, and it's just
so
get it, girl.
So I know, right? So ridiculously proud and inspired by you. And I know this is like, to me, this is only the beginning. Like just to see your career take off. I mean, it's just like it fills me up. It fills me up because I know that we all share that same passion, that same dream. But we were talking about this earlier, how like, of course, we're all in sort of the same category. We all go out for similar roles or even the same roles. And right before my first show, Rosewood, I would always constantly look at other actresses and go, man, damn, that was supposed to be mine. Or I could have done that.
Yeah.
Damn, I actually went out for that.
Yeah.
And it took so long for me to come to accept that, no, what was meant for them was actually for them. And don't worry, like, don't stress, my time will come. But also just to celebrate and appreciate or uplift and highlight that person is so beautiful, because when it all like comes back, you know?
Yeah. And you never know, like, because I've had that happen to me a lot, you know, like all of us, because that's literally the name of the game. You go in, you audition for something, and only one person is going to get it. You know, like that, the role is just for one person. Unless it's like, you know, that Bob Dylan movie where there had like so many actors playing Bob Dylan and like stuff like that. But like, you know, normally it's just like one person is getting the role. And I think that everything is perfect, and like whoever's meant, if it's meant for you is yours, and if it's not meant for you, it's not. But I also feel like it's like when someone says like, no one else could have played that role. Whenever someone says that to me, I'm like, no one else could have done that like you. I'm like, no one else could have done it like me, because I'm me. But someone else could have done something different with it, and it might have been like equally as good or better. You know, like it. Yeah. Because everyone just brings something different, and it's in the moment. It's just what the person behind the desk needs. Yeah. And like, you might remind them of their ex-girlfriend, and that's why they don't want to cast you. You know, like, you never know. It has nothing to do with your talent. It's what I've what I found is that if you're working, you're talented, period. Whether you get a role has less to do with your talent and more to do with like the vision that the creative has. Whether you fit exactly with the look that they had in mind, or whether you open your mouth and that's the voice that they had been envisioning for the character, or whether they just like your energy and they like you as a friend and they're like, I want to spend time with them on set. Like, it's just so many things that's why I've relaxed a lot, I think, when on the auditioning process, because I get a sides for something and I'm like, okay, cool. This doesn't seem like it's gonna be for me, but I'm gonna show up anyway because you never know.
Yes. You
really never know.
Yes.
There's
less pressure. There's less pressure. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean,
Yeah.
But what a journey, actors have to go through. And we were just talking about too, I was telling her, confessing to her, like in my early 20s, it was a lot of like, I would see an actress and be like, oh, I want to be like her. And then I'm trying to become that person because I still don't know myself yet. And then as I'm learning all my lessons, I'm understanding this is not a competition, but in a weird way it is. And it's kind of, and then you're just trying to reject that negative energy and stay professional and then keep growing in this business and then finding yourself in this business and who you are. When you're working, your character, you're creating that character. Melissa is now, this is my version of Vanessa, which is what you did.
Yeah.
And another actress would have done, the same. But we go through an insane emotional journey, and it takes a lot of emotional intelligence to get to a healthy place in this business where, you are secure of yourself. There's no competition. And at the end of the day, if you win, todas ganamos.
Yes.